Where are all the jobs going? What are people going to do? I want to explore the pathway to job security. What does that mean? What does AI mean? What does an AI powered future mean? And what does it mean to have a 4-year degree or not? It starts with skills. What with trades, with adaptability. If you're worried that AI is replacing jobs or that skipping college means you've missed the boat, I've got news for you. The future belongs to the skilled, but not just the schooled. And what I mean by the skilled and not the schooled, or the educated and not just the schooled, is that if you are skilled, if you are educated, you will always move further in life, because schooling means a degree. It means a piece of paper that has established that you've been able to show up on time someplace. You've been able to take a ton of information and synthesize it. It means that you've been able to fit into the structure, the discipline of a certain environment, which is obviously really good for corporate, because for corporate, this means that if I hire you and you have a degree, that tells me that you can probably send an email. That means you're probably going to show up to work. That means you can maybe work with your coworkers. That means that whatever rules and policies I set in place, you're going to follow. But as we move into a more global world and as AI is changing and adapting things, that is not the number one marker anymore of is this person hireable. What is actually a marker? Is this person skilled? Can this person execute? Or is this person willing to keep learning? Are they curious? And that is where skills, that's why I would say the future belongs to the skilled and the future belongs to the educated comes in. Because if you're skilled, that means you have expertise in things. That means you have a core skill set, and that could be so many things. In this world, you want to maybe double down on 3 things. So for me, my background is in social work. So that's a lot of like human psychology, communication, empathy, and that's one of my skills. I also work in an AI company, so that's another skill. I have an education background. I'm a trainer, a change management. So these 3 skills, I double down on them, and that then opens doors for me, because anyone who needs someone who can do change management skills, human psychology, sociology, all those empathetic human skills that are needed in the backdrop of AI, I have, but I also deeply understand AI. So that's my skill set. And that's also where my education comes in, because I did not go back to school to learn AI. I did not go back to school to learn change management. I did not go back to school to like open a farm with my mom. What I did do is I have a curious mindset. I'm always willing to be educated. So I'm always asking questions. I'm always reading. I'm always Googling. I'm always watching YouTube. So the future belongs to the skilled and the educated, not just the schooled. And what I mean by not just the schooled is that you can still go to school, you can still get your degree, you can still do all of that, but it's not the end all be all. Okay. If you're still following me, let's continue this. We're entering an era of massive transformation. And I don't even know if it's fair to say we're entering it. I think we're in it. We're in an era of massive transformation. And this means that we need to think differently. Because right now we have electric vehicles. Is it Waymo? Is that the name? We have cars that are driving themselves, delivering stuff. You have buildings that are supposed to be climate resistant or resilient, because we have AI powered databases that are taking all our water. And the climate is changing quite quickly. We have smart cities. AI is in every single industry. At some point, it used to be like every single company is a tech company because every company uses tech. And now it's changing to every single company is going to be AI. Every single company is going to have some AI functionality for it to move, because the way we're moving is that a lot of entry-level jobs, a lot of admin jobs where you're copying and pasting stuff and doing the tedious stuff no one wants to do, is going to be taken over by AI. So with this understanding, behind all that, where do we go? And you might think to yourself, oh, okay, well, in order to do all this stuff, we need a lot of coders in tech. And sure, we need coders, but we also need electricians who understand smart grids. We also need welders for offshore wind turbines. We need HVAC techs who can install AI powered systems. What I said earlier at the top of this video around my unique skills and specialty is that I understand AI, I understand communication, I understand human psychology. So someone who understands HVAC well and understands AI well, you have a job of the future. Why? Because you're skilled and you're educated. And this does not necessarily mean you're schooled, because you don't need to go to school. You don't need another degree. What you need to do is have an open mindset. But what's happening is that right now, social narratives are pushing 4-year college pathways as the only real way forward. We say that if you don't have a 4-year degree, then we say if you don't go back to school, then and that is not true. More employers now hire based on skills and degrees. And we're going to keep seeing that trend that more people are hiring based on skills rather than degrees because more people want results quickly. We live in an Amazon era. We live in a Prime era, meaning that we are not, I'm not saying this is good or bad, but we are no longer training people. We're no longer hiring people and training them and playing a long-term game where in a year or two, you will have at least the basic capacity to move. I read this quote once that said, you are not ready for your job until you've done it for a year. And unfortunately, we are moving in a direction where employers want you to come and overnight you're doing the job. The minute they hire you, you hit the ground running. And if that's the case, where do we go? So if employers are hiring based on skills, this is Google, IBM, Tesla, even the federal government rethinking degree requirements. So it becomes less about choosing between being educated or not. It's about choosing relevancy. It's about choosing the person or the lifestyle that is adaptive learning. It's how quickly can I learn a skill? How open do I want to be? How firm do I want to be in the truth of what I know? I.e., I know HVAC really well. I know pest control really well. Because guess what? The roaches, the mice, they're not going anywhere. They're not. But how do we then make sure that we're creating pest control with the technology of the house? When we see movement, what does that movement mean? Does that dictate where we end up putting traps or how we build our houses? I don't know. I'm not a pest control person, but I'm sure if you were in that adaptive learning mode and you thought about that, you would make money. You would make money because we all know that the roaches were here before the dinosaurs and going to be here long after the humans. And I don't know how I went on down this pivot, but I hope you're following me. I hope you're staying on what I mean by this. Why am I saying this? I've spent my career in workforce development. I worked for the New York City Department of Education, where I was supporting schools in a department called CTE, which is Career and Technical Education. So I was supporting schools around New York City in creating their HVAC programs, their plumbing, their culinary, their engineer, whatever have you, those trades, because the whole idea was that you do not have to go to a four-year college after you graduate. There's so many other pathways and viable pathways you can do to move forward. And I've helped hundreds of schools do this. And then when I left the New York City Department of Education, I moved over to an education tech company that leaned into apprenticeships, meaning that we supported people who did not have four-year degrees get into tech. And we did that because of using what their skills were. What skills have you learned in other industries? And how can I show an employer, AKA the people I mentioned above, Google, Tesla, Meta, how can I show them that you know what you're talking about? You can learn quickly. And that was my job. That's what I do well. That is my specific knowledge. And that is what I help people do in my accelerator. That's what I help my clients with now. How do I help you understand your skill set so you can translate that to the job that you want, to the future that you want? Because it's a skill that you need to learn. So no matter how quickly or how often the climate of work changes, you will always be employed. Because my goal is to teach you and to also just move forward how to build a career through skill-based learning. Apprenticeships, project-based, portfolio-based, real-world things. And if you have to invest in education, if you have the money or maybe you want to take out some investment for that, then let's do certifications before we do degrees. And here's the thing, I'm not anti-degree, but I am pro-pathway because I've experienced firsthand how much debt people go into for degrees. And luckily for me, my degree has moved me forward in my career, and I'm really grateful for my degree, and I pay that off really early. But a lot of people have a lot of student debt. They don't have the salary. They don't have the life to match it. So I've seen firsthand how powerful these alternative pathways can be to make sure you have money in your pocket, to make sure you can pay for the life that you deserve. So again, I just want to stress before anyone comes in my comments, I am not anti-degree. And if like, for example, I talk to you, we work together, whatever, and there are a number of reasons why you would want a degree, I will lean into it. I'll say, yes, get the degree if it makes sense. And makes sense could be emotionally, it makes sense for you to get the degree, or makes sense as in, hey, because of where you want to go, getting a degree will serve you. And if that's the case, yes. But I also want to offer you that there's so many other pathways. And I know this because I've worked in government. New York City is the biggest school system, one of the biggest school systems. I've worked in that, in workforce creation, in trade creation, and pathway creation. I've worked in tech. I'm still working in tech in the same field. So I am saying this to you to offer you that there are several ways to do this. Because college degrees still matter, especially in fields like medicine, law, or research, but they're not the ticket anymore for various other pathways. And when we lean into skill-based learning, we open ourselves to more opportunity. That includes micro-credentials, apprenticeships, boot camps, on-the-job learning, portfolios that show what you can actually do. And when I say things like boot camps and certifications, I do always want to put a little asterisk there because those usually involve some form of monetary investment. And I want to be critical of sometimes an investment is really good to move you forward and you should do it. And sometimes it might put you in more debt or you might just not have the capital. So what are the other ways we can do it? And on-the-job learning, apprenticeships, portfolios are what helps you do that. So this is for everyone. This isn't, I think we talk a lot about trades and that's when we think about apprenticeships and these things, but really and truly, green technology, cybersecurity, healthcare tech, maybe cybersecurity not so much actually, because I do think you will probably need to learn some few systems. You can use that and then bankroll yourself to then invest in a credential to go to cybersecurity. Do you see my pathway here? So I implore you, start building a career without a degree if you don't have one, or if you do have one and you're thinking about getting another degree, look at your other options. Stack your skills, combine a trade, a tech skill, a soft skill. So you can be an electrician and then you do smart grid tech, project management. That's future proof. So that's what I mean by stacking your skills. Or 2, learn on the job. Apprenticeships and workforce training programs let you earn and learn without the debt. And in my opinion, every job is an apprenticeship. So you don't even need to look for the title apprenticeship. Like literally find a job where you can enter and it may not be paying you everything that you want in the moment, but realize that part of your compensation is learning. And once you learn, you move on up. And I don't know if I talked about it in this video, another video, how in one of my jobs, I started out as a trainer and then I went underneath the wing of the change management strategist. I learned how to do that. And then without getting a change management degree, I got enough big ticket clients under my belt that I was able to legitimately say I'm a change management strategist because I had evidence of that because I did that apprenticeship, if you will. And that leads me to build a portfolio, whether it's a website, whether it's LinkedIn, whatever you want to do. Make sure you're showing your work. Show your work. Show how you're thinking. Show how you're creating. Show what you're putting out there. Show how people bragging on you. Show your work. Okay? Build a portfolio. Stay flexible. So how can you learn? Is it through conversations? Is it through micro courses? Is it through YouTube? Keep learning in small, relevant, and consistent ways. So that way it's not super overwhelming. And I think sometimes a lot of people say stuff like, oh, I haven't read a book since college, or I haven't done this, or it's too much to go get another this. And I think if you make things really big, like a whole degree, then it becomes really big. But if you allow yourself to do some micro learning, and this is where something like even a TikTok or YouTube can help you, because you watch a video, you go do the thing. Once you're super comfortable with the thing, you watch another video, you go do the thing. And slowly but surely you start building your competence. And then you look back one day and you're speaking the language of whatever it is that you said you wanted to be. And then you have some evidence behind it. And maybe you're reading through the Reddit and you're like, oh, yeah, I hate when they do XYZ. 4 months ago, you would have, you had no idea. I'm laughing because I do that all the time. I would be like, oh, I don't know why that's so bad. And then I do the thing and then I learn and then I'm like, I see why this annoys people, or I see why people get so excited about this. So let that be your story as well. And then map your aligned job. Don't just chase prestige. Chase fit. Understand what you want for your life, what you want your life outside of your job to be. For me right now, I'm traveling, I'm in Thailand. I want a job that gives me flexibility, that gives me enough money to travel, gives me flexibility to travel. I don't want to be bogged down all the time. So that's what I'm chasing as I create my career. So your aligned job is where your skills, your interests, and your purpose intersect. And if any of this is maybe overwhelming to you, you're not sure where to start, this is what I work with my clients on in our accelerator program. So we're all together learning and growing, feeding off each other's skill sets, experiences, what we know. And through that, we're able to grow and build aligned careers and make sure that as the world changes quickly and as the economy changes, we're able to adapt and go with that. So in short, there's so many options out there for you. And I really want to make sure that you understand that as the world changes, you can adapt and move and shake how you need to be successful. My ask for you is pick one skill you want to build in the next 90 days. Find a job, a training program, an online course, something, and identify one more tech skill to complement it. That's it. Start stacking. And if you need help with that, join the accelerator program so we can do this together.